Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into the Racecraft Simulations V8 Veterans for Season 27. It's the Split 2 action tonight of Round 7, so we make our way into Austin, Texas for the Circuit of the Americas. We run around the NASCAR West layout tonight for 150 kilometres, 39 laps here at COTA. It is going to be a tough test and a tough task at this late point in the season, as we are well into the second half of the season now, after last week's chaotic race out at Long Beach Street Circuit as well. Hamish Munro here with you, joined by Brett Fisher as always. And Brett, it's fantastic to be back with you once again as we simulcast across both Infinity Broadcasting and V8 Veterans networks. And this week, as we come into Texas, it's going to be a tough task, as we've got we're going to be described as maybe a horrific run home for some of our drivers in terms of the challenge that they're going to be facing. Next week at Fuji, 300Ks in the wet. The week after, 8 laps of the Nürburgring Nordschleife, and the final round, undroppable at Adelaide Street Circuit. This begins the final run home, Brett, and this is the championship winning point of the season, where if you can carry momentum out of tonight into the next 3 rounds, you can call yourself a champion come the end of round 10.
Oh, and it's all building up. It's everything is going into the cooker tonight, and we're starting to see the cream rise to the top, rise to the top. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't. But tonight's going to be an interesting one. There's been some love and hate on this track, so it'll be interesting to see what is outlaid. You know, it's an interesting sort of track. People find it's very hard to find a bit of grip. Get a decent time down, or that's some people flying on it, but we're looking forward to tonight. Should be great, and by the end of tonight we should definitely see some people definitely start to rise to the top, and the cream starting to mature.
Well, that's exactly right. As we look at our championship points, only one drop round is counted at this stage of the season. Gary Buckland is leading the way on 844 points ahead of Bretton O'Brien on 810, with Roy Clark, Brett Horsell, Bruce Tannick inside of the top 5. Stephen Kokoschke, what a horrid race he had last week. This now is the big test for Kokoschke. If he wants to win the championship, he has to perform this evening, and he has to bounce back for what was arguably one of his worst drives we've seen from him back at Long Beach last week. Scott Weston in behind him, Ron Allen, Ben Brook and Rick Viger. What an astounding win for him last time out. He now finds himself in the top 10 of the championship as well. And after tonight, I do know we will have 2 drop rounds applied to the points for next week. So we'll know where we truly sit heading into the next round. And the one name that I know is going to rise up the rankings, and as we said, Cream's going to rise to the top, it's going to be Ben Brook. He is going to be amongst those top runners of championship contenders for this season. Look out for Ron Allen as well, and we know that Bruce Tannick's going to be up there too. So there'll be some shaking, there'll be some dropping, but ultimately we know that the likes of Buckland, Kokoschke, Tannick, Brook, even possibly Roy Clark or Bruce, Bruce Tannick and stuff like that, they're all going to be around that marker, and they're all going to be around the top 5 of the championship leading into the final 3 rounds.
And look out for those loose cannons that you don't know are coming too. You know, like there might be still some upsets coming in the next few races. You know, we've got a couple of quirky ones coming up. Like we've got as you just mentioned before, Hamish, we've got the weather at Fuji, and we've got the big Nordschleife, which is going to test a lot of people out. There's going to be, some stuff happening there. And then we're back to Adelaide for the final, the GF, the grand final for the Series 27, which I'm looking forward to that. It should be a real good cracker.
I'm really looking forward to it as well. As we said, this is where we sit tonight, 150Ks, 39 laps. Originally, it was touted to be extended to 200 kilometres. Admin and management, though, deciding not to. So it will remain at the distance of 150Ks this evening for 39 laps, we said. And then look at that mega run to the end of the season. Fuji, the Nürburgring, and then Adelaide to end out our championship. That is going to be an epic run to the end of the season as well. Looking at tonight's circuit, of course, we are into the circuit of the Americas. As it's become now a world-famous Formula One circuit. It's been on the calendar for the last 14 years since it's made its debut back in 2012. It was only recently built back in the late noughties to the early 2010s. Of course, supercars have run here as late as 2013. They ran this exact layout we're running this evening, but this layout's now been adjusted to allow NASCAR road course racing. So track limits have been extended. There's been a lot more walls applied as well. It's made it a lot tougher for these drivers to try and perform across the evening. It's all going to start on the main straight, uphill run towards turn 1, tightening corner. We saw some chaos there in split 1 early in the race on Thursday night as you run down the hill through turn 2, through the Silverstone S's at 3, 4, 5 and 6. And then we take the swift left-hander at 6A and then into 6B to go onto the back straight. And this first sector here, Brett, it's fast, it's flowing, it's going to be a tough run. It's almost a complete opposite to what we're going to be finding on the second half of the circuit when we roll around back towards the start-finish line.
I tell you, yeah, I mean, that turn 1 isn't iconic up the hill, and that hard left hand, to start your run down the hill to the S's. It's very iconic and very, very interesting. And going through those S's, a lot of different lines we're going to see through there tonight as well. I did see on track a fair few different lines through there, and I'll tell you what, it's not easy, and it is easy to sort of get yourself out of sorts there, and can get off tracks and what do you call it? The time penalties.
Or into strife, possibly as well.
Yeah. And then, I mean, heading to 6A, you've got that tyre bundle right on the left-hand side, and you've got to really tuck in as close as that you can. Nice little section, actually, through 6A and B.
Yeah, well, that section there, a lot more fast-paced than what the previous west section offered, which was that little red section you'll see there, just to the left of it, off of turn 6, with the little chicane kink that then comes up. That's the old west circuit. It had that old chicane. It's now been adjusted and extended up to have a nice, faster run. We then go up towards turn 12, good overtaking opportunity throughout the race, then up towards 13 and 14 and into 15, where we'll see cars often go side by side all the way through this section of corners. Got to be careful early though on cold tyres. You can definitely get loose at turn 15, so drivers will have to be cautious of that throughout the race. Then up through the triple right-hander of 16, 17 and 18. Got to be careful of the rear end getting loose and you don't get a little snap towards turn 19 as well. The track limits off the exit of 19, where you can extend them as much as you like. Got to be careful though with your rejoin. If you pass the second white line to the tarmac, then race control will be deeming you possibly at fault if you make contact as you rejoin the circuit. Turn 20 then will make our final corner of the circuit as well. You can get a good run off of 19, run it wide, and then you can actually shoot the half and dive straight up the inside of 20 if the dancing partner you've got that you're overtaking is willing to give you the room. Pit entry tonight shouldn't be too difficult, but it is a very, very slow entry. Pit exit, going to be no issues at all. Does not come out on the racing line. It's going to be tough. Lap 1, I'm going to say this now, but if we don't get a safety car in the first 5 laps, we're not going to see one tonight. Ultimately, this track is going to lend itself to the field spreading themselves out throughout the whole race. If we don't see an appearance of the safety car in the first 5 laps, I don't think it's actually going to happen, because we don't have a real opportunity to blow engines now. Without that back straight, there's not much opportunity to money shift around here, maybe into turn 1, but ultimately you'd have to be carrying too much speed into turn 1 anyway to money shift up the hill. So
I reckon the only other possibility would be going to 6A.
Yes.
If you clip that inside tyre bundle and shoot your car straight across the outside wall, destroy your engine, you're stuck in the middle of the track and all this stuff, that could be an opportunity. But like you're right, there's so much runoff on this track, and blown engines shouldn't be an issue.
They shouldn't be. So ultimately, unless we get contact made, and as I said, that's why I think it's only within the first 5 laps, Brett, because once the field spreads, it's going to be a lot harder for that to become an issue tonight. I don't know if we'll see it. So if we stay mean and green and clean for 5 laps, don't be surprised if we do not see an appearance of the safety car here this evening. We're live on track now and ready to go for tonight's event. The warm-up session is currently underway. We'll have a quick look at our starting grid for tonight's race, and just quickly looking at it, Dave Duddle has gone and put his car in pole position for the first time here in Split 2 for 266 alongside Stephen Kokoschke. Great comeback in qualifying for Stephen this week after the run last week at Long Beach. We'll see if he can maximise and maybe put himself into a P1 winning position for the 3rd time this season. Row 2 in behind them, we'll find Ben Brook and Ron Allen alongside each other then the top 4. So good qualifying from both of them. We know that Ben's going to rise up the top at the end of this race if he does have a good finish. So he will be up amongst the top 5 if he could remain where he starts this evening's race. To the 3rd row here this evening, going to be Chris Blanchard and Tony Chapman alongside each other for the top 6. Tony's had great qualifyings this season, but he's struggled to back it up during the races. We'll see if he can do it here this evening out at COTA and maybe get himself a cheeky top 5 to boot as well. Last week's Driver of the Day award winner as well in Tony Chapman, so we'll see if he can back that up for himself here this evening. Row 4, Abel Verben, Bruce Tannock alongside each other for the top 8. Bruce has been sneaky this season. He is a contender for the championship, and he could put himself in a quality position if he can get that car inside of the top 5 or even up onto the podium if he can gain 5 positions for himself on board the Mag and Turbo Camaro starting out of P8 this evening. To make up our top 10 on the 5th row, it'll be Nathan Favero and Yusuf Corfiadis for our top 10 starting positions. It's a great top 10. It's a great first 5 rows, and just missing out on them for the for the 6th row, it is championship leader Gary Buckland starting alongside Todd Duggan for the top 12. Great qualifying from Todd there, Brett, to get himself inside of the top 12. Gary Buckland, though, not matching it in qualifying, not getting a top 10. He leads the championship. Is he going to lead it after tonight's race?
Yeah, can he sort of force his way through the field a bit here? But probably not a position he wants to start in.
Probably not, and he'll be wanting a nice clean race after last week's debacle at Long Beach as well, with Blanchard off of turn 1. To row 7 in behind them, a top 14. James Boardman battling illness this week. He races with a sinus infection or chest infection type deal. He'll start inside of the top 13 alongside Rick Viger, last week's race winner, in P14 on the 7th row as well. Row 8 in behind, Mick Clifton, Brett Taylor starting out of the top 16 here. Brett, great qualifying there from Brett Taylor, who's leading the Battle of the Bretts at the moment this season.
Is it Brett Taylor or Horsell?
I believe Taylor was leading it into this race. Maybe not. Oh, no,
Okay.
it is Brett. It is Brett
Cool.
Horsell. Sorry, it is Brett Horsell.
Yeah,
But
I thought so.
Taylor
Yeah.
Taylor
Yeah.
is on his heels in terms
Yeah,
of
he
chasing
is,
him
yeah.
down. So he's doing a great effort thus far. To the top 9 rows and the top 18 cars, Andrew Galley, Scott Weston starting alongside each other, making up our top 20. On the 10th row, it'll be Roy Clark and Jamie Peters alongside each other. Row 11 in behind them. For the top 22, it's Scott McCune and Brett Horsell starting alongside each other. All Mustang 11th row of the grid. To row 12 in behind them, it'll be Darryl Callahan and Joel Oosterval for the top 24. To row 13, or just quickly, Brett.
I tell you what, I was surprised with Joe Oosterwall at the moment. I thought he might have been, setting paces a bit higher throughout this championship.
Well,
Keep going, mate.
maybe we need to look to next season, hopefully, for Oosterval to get back into the groove and back into possible winning ways. Matt Monday makes up the top 25, starting alongside the sole Southern Cross Racing driver here tonight, Andrew Lister, out of P26 alongside him. For the 14th row and behind them, it'll be Pete Baxter, starting alongside Brenton O'Brien. Then for the top 28 into the top 30 in the 15th row, it'll be Michael Quain, starting out of P29. In behind Quainey will be some of our pit stop starters, including yourself, Brett, out of P32. That'll be the only pit stop starter in course. That's the 30th
Naughty
position
boy,
on the grid.
mate.
Naughty boy, Brett. 2 race controls this evening out there, Jordan Ross and Sean Vandermeulen, together in the race control booth here this evening. But David Duddle has put it on pole for the first time in his career here in Split 2. He'll start alongside Stephen Kokoschki, who we know has good race pace. Can he maintain position up here tonight, get himself another race win, and put the sword to Gary Buckland with 3 rounds to go? He's got 150 Ks to decide it, 39 laps to decide it as well, and 39 laps to figure it out. We've got a heap of chats out there already across both the V8 Veterans and Infinity Broadcasting channels. Brett was out there earlier on tonight getting the punters fired up, of course, pre-show. Preamble as well. Give that a read when you get a chance. Over on Infinity Broadcasting, New Zealand Virtual Sim Racing was over there saying hello to us. So hello to you as well. Welcome in. Peter Kelleher here on the Vets channel alongside Ron Allen as well. Nathan Favero too. Rhiannon's over on the Infinity Broadcasting channel as well. Sando's in the chat with us with Dave Duddle out there too. Brett Horsell's out there as well as Ernie Toth. Sean Palmer watching in as well, saying, hello, legends. Kokoschki won't beat Tanik. He's faster over long distance. Well, we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. Challenge accepted, I would say, from Kokoschki. Andrew Listen's out there with us as well. Damon Fisher in the chat with us here tonight too, as well as Halil Says is out there with us, Tony Chapman. And Matt Brunt is in the chat with us too. So great to have you all watching along with us. Appreciate your time. Appreciate you being here with us as always. And we hope that you guys are going to enjoy the show this evening. 39 laps, as we said, 150 kilometres. And for David Duddle, it is his first pole position in Split 2. Can he make it work for him?
Let's see if we can get it off the line.
Well, we'll have to wait and see if he can. Turn 1 is going to be a hot spot in this race very, very early. And we could see some spins early in this race as well. As the lights go up, revs start to rise for these drivers as Dave Duddle starts on pole position. Good start. Same with Kokoschki. Horrid start there for Blanchard off the line, getting swamped early by Verben and by Favero. As we run it up towards turn number 1 for the very first time, Duddle leads through the tightening turn 1. Buckland tries to sneak himself inside of the top 10. Boardman trying to fight his way forward as well. Duggan gets loose off the exit. Nearly doors Blanchard out of the way as drivers start to run their way down towards the S's for the first time as Duddle leads towards 6A and 6B.
Have a look at that start that the Tanik got up 4 already. So he is on a blistering start.
He is indeed. He's only 1 away now from the top 3. He's gotten past Benbrook as well. That's a hot position to gain there. Brett O'Brien trying to make moves. You can see the gaggle of cars fighting alongside each other. Andrew Galley and Jamie Peters battling for the same piece of real estate with Brett Horsell as well as he gets a little bit loose. Watch for Roy Clark as well. Don't make it 3 wide down towards turn 12, please, or turn 7. Please don't. They're not going to. They decide to back out of it for now. as Peter survives on forward, but Oosterwald's gone round. Joel Oosterwald has gone round down at turn 7, not the spot he wanted to go round at, and he'll have to pick up the pieces for himself later on in the lap. Oh, Chapman!
Tony Chapman dropping.
He is as well. He's off the road down here. There he is. And Galley.
Oh, and there's another.
Yeah, Andrew Galley as well with Scott Weston. Bit of contact made, so cars dropping positions early here. Free spots to be gained for some and losses for others. That's a tough start for those drivers so early in this race, being that it is one of our sprint rounds this season.
Yeah, that's a bit tough for some of those drivers there, but geez, there was a lot of side-by-side stuff happening there in that first lap.
There was indeed. All having a go of it. First lap done, first lap led for David Duddle here tonight. Kokoschki and P2. Tanik up to P3 already as well. Rick Weiger up 7 into the top 10. Last week's race winner has fought his way forward as Chapman is going slow again. I reckon he might have a slowdown, Brett.
He might have, but Tanik right on the ginger of Kokoschki as well. Like, he really, just as the scene coming out of turn 1 there, he was right on his ginger. So this battle, I mean, these two drivers have clashed heads before, and they are right at it again. So this is one to watch. Oh,
Chapman, he's just given us the word in chat. He now has a 43-second stop hold for not clearing the slowdown in time. So he wasn't aware that he had it, and now he's lost it here. Now, critical lap tonight was lap 1. So we may see some drivers come in on lap 2 now to try and undercut some of the field, because ultimately undercut's going to be very strong if you can get into some clean air this evening, especially if drivers begin to battle. This is a circuit that can lend itself well to battling, both attacking and defending, but it does favour the defenders because there is so little amount of opportunity to get past. Best opportunities, the final turn at turn 20, turn 1, and then as well turn 12. Those are your best spots for a passing chance around the lap, but ultimately, well, you've got to try and put yourself in that position. You can defend those spots fairly easily.
Duggan on Buckland at the moment. He's looking fairly close to him there. And then we've also got Ben Brook and Verban in further up there. And Brett Taylor's just got...
Early pit stoppers, lap 2, Blanchard and Boardman. So 2 cars here, Brett, wanting to try and undercut some of the field. Baxter's in, Chapman's in, of course, for that stop hold. Oosterwald and Quain in as well. We'll see how their stops work for them here down pit lane.
So we're already seeing some early stops here, and I'm just seeing there was someone going down the front there straight, fairly close to each other.
Oh, you're starting to chase down your teammate here, Brett. Fastest lap of the race from Brett Fisher, 138.59. Where the hell's that come from?
Oh,
so
well,
see, we should maybe expect some shorter stops here in pit lane. Boardman's in there at this stage, 21 odd seconds. Blanchard, 17.22. Quain's driven through pit lane, so you'd assume it was a drive-through. So shorter stop here for Blanchard. Chapman obviously is holding. Baxter's already leaving as well. Boardman's, oh my God, Boardman's taking a 36-second stop. I reckon something's happened in pit lane because that's a full tank of fuel, plus possibly then some. Could be a mistake for that car in pit lane. That's going to cost him a heap of positions throughout this race, and he hasn't got a lot of time to try and catch it back.
Sorry, just getting my pit lap times up. So we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people through pit lane. No, I didn't go through pit lane, so 5. So 5 people with early pit stops. Weston and Callaghan going at it here.
They are indeed, side by side. Weston not the best first lap he would have wanted. Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Did well.
Weston's going to get hung out to dry on the outside there. And he looks like he's going to head for pit lane by the look of this.
He is straight in for
Weston.
That
was Listener there on the outside of O'Brien as well.
He's putting the pressure on him. You see there Callaghan running wide at turn 20. Hopefully that's not going to be a reoccurring issue tonight for the M1 used cars driver of Darryl Callaghan. But this is where the hot action is further down the order. There is some battling inside of the top 10, including Tanik trying to chase down Kokoschki, but there's a 2.6 second
he's dropped
gap.
off.
He's dropped off a little bit.
Off big time.
He's got Ron Allen right on his heels, so maybe he's trying to give some gap, or just trying to save some tyres maybe as well.
Well, have a look at the angry posse behind him.
There's a lot of cars.
There's a fairly decent list of cars there behind him trying to chase him down. So Alan, Brook, Verban, Weiger, Favero, and Duggan, all in that little battle pack there. Lap 4 of 39.
You see as well, Ben Brooks still amongst this pack as well. Verban doing well tonight. Still up in that. This is 2 weeks in a row that he's hung around the top 10. This has been great to see from Abel Verban. Here, Rick Viger as well, up 7. What a way to carry momentum off of last week's win. Really, really well for him. It's great to have you all out there chatting away with us too. If there's anyone you want us to keep an eye on, or any points of the race you think we should watch out for, let us know in the chat. Any little bit helps.
Who was in the safety car? Let's go and watch them.
I believe technically Van der Meulen is the safety car driver here this evening, but he's trying to keep himself in check at this stage. About to start lap 5. Remember what I said to you, Brett? If we make 5 laps without a safety car, I don't think we're going to get one. Fastest lap of the race for Kokoschki, 138.57.
Stole it off me.
Stole it off you for a moment there. Listeners down to pit lane. If we survive this lap without one, I don't think we're going to get one here, Brett. I'll be honest with you.
Galley in pits as well.
Yep, so it's a double Andrew pit lane entry for Listener and Galley. I wonder if Andrew Hoffman's down there helping Listener around in pit lane, make it a triple Andrew pit lane trip.
Yeah, all the best to Andrew. We didn't see him on Thursday night.
Yeah, unfortunately not. Hopefully we see him back again for Fuji next week.
Now, Ron Allen also just sliding off the back of Tanik there as well. Kokoschki's actually maintaining and actually just slightly increasing his, closing that gap on Duddle. It's been hovering around about 1.5, but he's down to 1.3, 1.2 now. But that gap to Tanik is slowly dropping back, so obviously not flowing as good as he'd like. But then Alan Brook, Verban, Viger and Favero. Duggan now dropping off the back of these guys and him coming under pressure from Buckland and Kofidis.
So, interesting point there. So as we rode with that suspension cam up towards turn 13, interesting how it actually unloads on that side of the car, Brett, at that point of the circuit. Now, obviously, if you're running the normal line, it will be a little bit more unloaded on the outside towards the inside of the corner. You can see Alan just getting a little bit loose there off 19. That's one of the reasons why it's very easy to defend the position down at that corner as Favero now comes into pit lane. Because the car gets unloaded on that outside line. So unless you can actually cut back across and put the load back on it across the...
Taylor just had an off track there for a second. Sorry to cut you off.
I think he just ran wide at turn 20.
Oh, right, okay,
Yeah, I think he just ran wide at turn 20. So we'll watch this here as Duddle comes up and around towards 6A and 6B towards turn 12. It's funny they still call it turn 12, even though there's not actually that many corners on this layout of the circuit.
They just can't count.
No, I know. Actually, how the car unloads itself on the outside of 13. So the reason it's so easy to defend the inside line through there is because of the unloading. If you can't get back across to the inside and put the load back on the suspension mid-corner, you actually then struggle for turn-in through here. So just watch how he runs this line. So he'll run out a little bit wider towards the entry. There we go, nice and wide. Unloads the suspension, reloads it back down, misses the apex completely though, unfortunately. So Kokoschki is actually now going to have a chance to get past him. I will put I'll put up an asterisk here. I did not realise that happened then, so that's just bad timing.
No, that's okay. He's done well to get that back.
He's done well.
Kokoschki going to have a run at him.
He will, and he's going to get him as well before the triple right. So Kokoschki now to the race lead. But yeah, so if you can actually if you can put the load back on the suspension right on that mid corner at apex, that's how the car can get turned in. You saw Duddle just missed the apex of the corner, couldn't quite get as much load on the suspension. Car ran wide and unfortunately lost the position there to Kokoschki at the end of it as well.
It was good. It was good timing to watch that day, though. I mean, Duddle unfortunately was doing all right, but Kokoschki was slightly hunting him down. Tanik's still in that 2.4. He was out to, I think it was about 2.8 there for a little bit as well. But Ron Allen, Brook and Verban still on his tail now. Rick Viger slightly dropping off to about a 1 second plus. Todd Duggan, a 1.2 second plus. But Buckland and Kofidis still in contact there with each other. The field's starting to spread out a bit. And we're on lap 7 of 39.
Right on board with Matt Monday up towards turn 1, trying to chase down O'Brien and Callahan right in front of him. He's got McCune right on his heels as they continue to battle for position here. And Scott McCune has had a roller coaster ride of a season thus far. Some good performances, but also some unfortunate ones as well. And he's just hoping for a little bit more consistency possibly throughout the season. I think he's got it in him to do so, but he's just struggling to put all the pieces of the set together to try and challenge for top 10s and possible race wins as well. But I think he's definitely got it in him to do so. He's just going to try and find that groove again as he looks for a move here on Monday. He wants to back out, but they're not quite close enough. And they continue in their single line of stern once again. We see the field beginning to spread here, Brett. It's almost like I'm telling a tale as it happens. Field begins to spread. Less likelihood of a safety car forming.
Well, McKeown right on.
Oh, he's right on him, though.
Monday there.
He couldn't do the outside, though. That's the issue. Because Monday held that inside, he can't get the power down to run around the outside of him. It's, you know, if you bring a high downforce car like a Formula 1 car here, you can make the outside line work for days because it has all the grip in the world out there. Bring a supercar here with no aero, it's not going to pull up. Yeah, Abel Verban in. See, it's never going to pull up on the outside because it can't put the weight down onto the suspension and the tyres as McCune comes in now out of this battle. So into pit lane he goes. Oh, massive send into pit lane for McCune. Got it pulled up though.
Yeah, well, if you can do it,
if
you can do it, why not? Make up a little bit of time into that entry, but you just got to be right on that, get the speed right down on those cones.
Look at that pit lane starter, Brett Fisher, up 15 now. Into P17 here, Brett. What's the thought at this point? Is it just try and keep the car clean and push on, keep the tyres nice and fresh, and are you trying to push on for as long as possible in the hopes of a safety car, or are you thinking about coming in soon?
No, I think I was just trying to push on as much as I could, try and just run clean laps. I didn't have a lot of people around me in that, so I didn't want to run the risk of getting caught up in any traffic and stuff like that. So I was just trying to, just be nice to the car, clock some laps in. I know I did some reasonable times during practice towards the end of the practice during the week and stuff like that. So I was actually getting confident with the track. But, it is what it is, and I was just trying to sort of get back up.
Teammate Andrew Galley, a fairly decent
unfortunately
job right now after his drive-through.
It's unfortunate, Yeah. Will we see that in the highlights?
Well, we might do. We just do. As Kokoschki enters pit lane out of the race lead, so maybe trying to split this race into a certain amount of section now. Don't want to go too long knowing the critical lap number, but also as well, a point I made about the field spreading now, as that percentage of a safety car goes down, the percentage then of you being able to try and get in a pit stop before that happens, it kind of struggles it a little bit as Varga pulls it in. So now it begins to favour the long runners. The more likely we are to stay green, that's when it can actually favour these longer runners, especially at the front end. If they don't battle and they keep just driving their nice clean laps, they can actually pull out a pretty decent gap over those cars that come in early who can get caught out in traffic. So it's a balancing act at this point of the race for drivers to come out of pit lane with a decent gap ahead of them whilst also being able to maintain their lap speed. Now we see Kokoschki, he's taken a 15.44 second stop. So he's probably taken around about 35 to 40 litres, I would say. So he's put himself in a position now where the car's not going to be too heavy. So he can push on with some fairly decent lap times on fresh tyres. And this is the money point of the race now. You want to try and get these good times in the mid-stint before cars begin to really, rush pit lane. New tyres, light car. Yes, it's not as light as the front runners, but the new tyres are going to help him along with that. And this will probably actually get him some good time over those top three as well.
Just looking at Duddle's last lap was a 140.869 against Bruce Tannick with a 130.033. So Tannick's closed that gap up to a 0.8 now. So whether Duddle's had a couple of little excursions and just not quite getting the car placed where he wants to. Thank you, Hamish, for putting that up. Let's have a look and see. So, just working on that. I think he's Tannick's,
for the first time in 5 laps, has actually outlapped Bruce Tannick that time by. Every other lap, he's been slower than Tannick. So I think he's starting to push on now, trying to build some gap here. As well.
So that'll be interesting. Peter's in pits. It'll be interesting to see when Tannick comes in to see where it comes out in relation to Kokoschki.
Well, Kokoschki being in P16. Here, let's see if I can work this out properly.
Well, he's going to be in a bit of traffic. Is he? Or let's see where one is.
Go to see if I've worked this out properly here. Now that's Viger, so let's go. Let's have a look. We can get 15. See if that works for us. Nope, that's for Van. I gotta go the other way. We're working as we go along here.
Yep. So Bryn Brook still chasing down the Ron Allen too, so that's still quite a close battle. The rest of that pack that we talked about earlier, Doug and Buckland and Fetus and Taylor. No, Taylor wasn't in that pack. They've slowly spread out there a little bit.
So we can see in those laps prior to Kokoschki pitting, he was actually quite decently quicker than Tanek was, but or quite decently quicker than Duddle was as well. But Tanek saying in the chat with us there as well, strat was to save fuel whole race, get the lead on shorter stop, best laid plan. So, you know, I think taking that shorter stop can obviously benefit you as well. Get that track position, and you know, these tracks like this can suit Tanek's driving style quite a fair bit. As Brook is in, as you just said, Brett. So we'll get a good view of this previous lap when Kokoschki actually crosses the line, what the true pace differential is. So Tanek was slower this lap, saving that fuel over Duddle by nearly 4/10 of a second. He's actually beginning to get drawn in now to Ron Allen in behind him as well. And Kokoschki's about to cross the line, so we'll see what that lap time is shortly.
That probably reigns to the point where I talked about earlier, where Tanek was slightly dropping off the back of Kokoschki. So Tanek's probably made that choice to start and save fuel at that point. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that works out for him. Gully and Pitts.
There we see it there, Brett. Kokoschki 1 second faster than David Duddle on that last lap. So he's 1 second faster than both Duddle and Tanek. So he's gaining a lot of time right now on both of them. So the longer this goes on, the better it's working out for Kokoschki.
He's got 4 seconds up to me, so he's got plenty of time there so he can unleash what he needs to unleash without being held up. So that's worked out quite good for him.
138.33 the last lap time by Tanek, 139.82, Duddle 139.43. So that pace is working out well for Kokoschki, and it's time that he's gaining on track on both of those drivers that he led prior to the stop. So ultimately, whatever time that Tanek loses to Kokoschki, that's the time he has to try and gain in pit lane on him to remain ahead of him. So he's got to be trying to do the mental maths now in his head. Gary Buckland in the chat with us over on the Infinity Broadcasting channel as well. Roy Clark out there with us too. Yeah, I was going for 2 light fuel runs at the end, unfortunately for Roy Clark. We'll see if that plays out for him. Brett Fisher in pits as well. So,
and I'm in pits.
Brett pulling the move of, I know Duggan's in pits because I'm in here right now and I just saw him in pit lane with me. But it's one of my favourite bits when that happens. Kokoschki, though, he continues to have clear track ahead of him here. Fastest lap of the race, 138.48. So this is really working in the favour now of Kokoschki. Last lap, he gained 1.5 seconds on Tanek, gained 1.1 seconds once again on David Duddle. So he is gaining every single lap that this goes on. And the early stop to get himself track position and then undercut both of them as well is working an absolute treat for Kokoschki. The way that Tanek could counteract this is pit now, take enough fuel to cover a set of tyres, and hope it's enough time to keep you ahead of Stephen Kokoschki when he comes past the start-finish line.
It's an interesting race we've got going at the moment. So once we see all those pit stops starting to level out, we'll see where everyone lives. Red Horsell just chasing down Roy Clark at the moment. Ron Allen on Tanek. Matt Mundy on O'Brien. Verban.
David Duddle.
Yep, Duddle's in.
So
it'll be interesting to see where he comes out as well.
Well, I think right now projected he will come out behind Kokoschki.
I'll tell you who we haven't seen tonight. Who is it we haven't seen? Oh gosh, Jones. Where's Jones?
Michael Jones. There's no Michael Jones this week. There's no Halil Cesar either. Matt Monday's now in the pit lane. So yeah, very interesting that Jones is not here tonight. I think unfortunately he's a little bit too far away from winning a championship now at this point of the season. Maybe next season, though, he could put in the challenge. So Duddle's in. We said, Kokoschki's going to jump in by heaps. So even though Kokoschki's going to be on 5-lap older tyres after this stint, comparatively to Duddle, they've taken a very similar amount of fuel, Brett. Only 2 seconds.
17.25. Yeah,
only 2 seconds slower. So that'll only work out to around about an extra 4 litres. So that'll probably be an extra lap.
Fire straight away with Viger.
He is in. Yeah, he is. So
Yeah.
That's
so
going to make it hard for
stress
him.
out.
Yep, it will not only stress him out, but it's going to force him now to work those tyres here early in this stint. So that's going to dig the tyres a lot more. It would have been just so interesting how these strategies can come together.
Yeah, you could really, it was interesting to see the lines coming through those S's, as I mentioned. Geez, that was close to that inside left-hand wall as he come through there too. So probably obviously just finding the tyres sliding a bit as he was coming through there too, and might have just taken a bit closer bite than we would have liked, but he did survive. So,
well, he's done well to put himself in this position as David Duddle. What a great qualifying tonight to put this car on pole. And could be his best drive in split 2 if he can get himself on the podium as well. He's in a very, very good effort here. We'll see if he can remain ahead of Bruce Tanek after this stint. But Tanek will now be able to just gain a little bit of time, but he has got to deal with some lap traffic. This could start to hurt him. He may want to come into pit lane this lap time by.
yeah, it'd be interesting to see whether he just gives a shuffle along, knowing Ron Allen is chasing him down there as well. And just to see whether he sort of says, okay, look, let me just push on a little bit here, or he sort of lets Ron Allen go
Ben
through.
Brook. Sorry, this is a name that we didn't even notice. Jumped Duddle as well. Fast lap of the race, 138.38. So he pitted 2 laps prior to Duddle. Now, he did take a 1 second shorter pit stop than Duddle did, but that gap's already out now to 3.3 seconds. This car, if it continues to pace like this, could be corrected P2 in the order at the end of this stint.
Interesting things. What was the lap that we could go to on fuel? I can't remember. So how many laps could we get out of the tank?
I am not 100% sure.
I think my burn rate was about 3 liters per lap. Doesn't matter. Well, I'm not good with numbers. Horsell chasing, still on Clark. Oh, side by side. Wow. That was very interesting.
So Ron Allen continues on. Bruce Tanek is into pit lane. Where will Stephen Kokoschky be? Where will Kokoschky be in comparison? And where will Ben Brook be in comparison to him as well? I mean, a great run thus far.
Let's have a look at Tanek in pit. So he's got 5 seconds.
There's Kokoschky.
10 seconds.
Screen past him. Ben Brook
15
as well.
seconds.
Yep.
17, 18, 19.
21.3.
21.38. Yeah, okay. So he's taking a lot more fuel.
He's probably taken
Duddle with the fastest lap of the race now too.
Just over the split stop. So maybe around about 40-ish litres possibly for Tanek. So now his tyres will be 6 laps newer than Kokoschky's, but he has traffic to deal with. He's got to deal with Blanchard, Verban, Viger, Duddle, Brook, all to get up to Kokoschky. That's going to be a tough task. Yes, he'll gain some time in the next pit stop, but now he's going to try and do it on track. And this is a tough place to pass. I know last week at Long Beach it was too, but this is a very tough place to pass. So Tanek's going to have a lot of work on his hands to get this car up to the back end of that Synergy Sim Racing car of Stephen Kokoschky now in the corrected race lead here out at COTA.
Yeah, Ron Allen just saying in the chat too, lucky Tanek didn't get a unsafe pit entry. So yeah, he was. It's quite amazing that he didn't, like having those 2 cars side by side as they entered. It was a bit on the questionable, but they survived and lived for another day. In comes Kofidis.
So how can this all play out now for those drivers? How will the strategies play out for them as well? Verban trying to battle away here with Rick Viger. As the pit stops are starting to form for these drivers now throughout this stint. As Callahan joins them into pit lane. There is our race leader Kokoschky, well, corrected race leader I should say. Real race leader right now is Ron Allen, but he needs a pit stop at this point of the race. Gary Buckland is trying to chase him down as well. Started out of P11 here tonight, wants a top 10 finish to maintain the lead of the championship. Brett Taylor, top 3 at the moment, ahead of Roy Clark, Britton O'Brien. Those are the last of the drivers that need to pit for their first compulsory pit stop of the evening. And then we get to Stephen Kokoschke, the race leader in terms of pit stoppers, and the corrected race leader on the time clock as well, being that the differential to the leader right now is 25 seconds. That is more than, there is more time to be lost in pit lane than that 25 seconds. So Alan should not be able to maintain the race lead after this next stop, as Roy Clark has just dropped out. Roy Clark has disappeared, and I think he may have a packet loss issue.
Oh, that sucks.
It's heartbreak as Ron Allen comes into pit lane.
Ron Allen's in pits.
It's heartbreak for Roy Clark. Not the end of his race that he would have wanted. It's unfortunate for him.
In pits as well.
Yeah. Here's Tanek on the inside of Blanchard trying to make the move here. Brett down at the back end of the circuit. Looks to go around the outside at the triple right. Made it work. They had a little door-to-door, it looked like, but somehow they've come out unscathed. As top four are all in to the extent of their fuel tanks, Kokoschke will take the race lead.
Taylor in. Sounded a bit robotic, didn't it?
Yeah, it was a little bit robotic.
I like how the timing tower is taking a vigil for Roy Clark. They've just left a gap there for him.
Yeah, just a chasm of what was once Roy Clark's position in this race.
Hate that. Really hate that.
It's heartbreaking. I mean, it's happened, obviously, to Halil twice this season, and it's heartbreaking whenever it happens. So my heart goes out to Roy Clark. It's a heartbreaking thing to have happened.
Tell you what, and someone mentioned it
about it either. You know,
no, there's not.
You know, and I think that's what hurts the most is when you know there's nothing you could have done about it at that point.
I think it's like it's as good as a 20-cent part, isn't it? You
Yeah.
know, that fails on a race car when you're going so well, and all of a sudden all the wheels fall off.
Oh, Jamie Peters, sorry, just quickly up the inside of Favero through the S's, made it work. Duggan couldn't quite get there, but Peters has somehow snuck his way through. That was a hot little pass for Peters, who's now up 10 and inside of the top 10 at this stage.
I was going to say Rick Viger up 10 positions in fourth at the moment. That's a fantastic effort from Rick there.
Well, Brenton O'Brien up 11, Peters up 10, Viger up 10. Those are the only double-digit gainers thus far in this race. So they're all doing incredibly well out there to make some
And I'm
gains.
the first of the second stoppers.
You are. You've just come out. This is a long time on tyres, though, Brett. This is 23 laps on a set of tyres. You are bold to pull this off. Now the other bold
brave
choice.
Or stupid.
Well, there's the other bold choice possibly in the field as well. Now we saw James Boardman being in pit lane longer than what he needed to be. Of course, Brett. He doesn't need any more fuel to get home. That car is fueled up to the end. So do you make the risky choice of you run tyres, the tyres that you're running on, do you run them to the end and just take a 1 litre stop to get the CPS done? Or do you just give up the 10 seconds and take an extra set of tyres with no fuel? That's going to be a tough balancing act for him. One way, he is going to lose 10 seconds. The other way, he's going to run on a set of tyres for 37 laps. Are you going to give up more than 10 seconds by doing that and a full traverse through pit lane? That's the weighing up of James Boardman right now as Andrew listens into pit lane. Another of the second pit stoppers.
Avril Verban on Rick Viger as we were watching that live at the moment. Well, not live, but you know what I'm saying. Brett also just getting past Kofidis, I believe, and back again. So they're side by side there, having a bit of a good old tussle with Taylor in behind. So we've got two of the Bretts battling out on track at the moment.
These are our pit stop times at this stage of the race. Now, some of these are 2 times stoppers throughout the race. So if we compare, 2 stoppers are down the bottom. Brett says 3, but that's because he started from pit lane.
Yep.
So that'll give you a fairer amount of how much fuel they actually took in their stops.
Brett Taylor and Brenton O'Brien must be going side by side at the moment, and he's getting past Kofidis as well.
They're all having at it. Wait a minute.
Unhinged
Hang on.
Motorsport.
Kofidis is on wet tyres.
Oh, is he?
Kofidis is on wet tyres, Brett.
Actually, I do remember hearing that. My spotter was saying someone was on wet tyres.
Yeah, I'm looking at the data now. He is on wet tyres. So somehow he's made the mistake in pit lane to select wets. Does he come in? He's trying to come in.
Oh, he'd
Okay,
have to.
so
He'd have to.
yeah. So Weston let him come in, and he's been out there. He's been out there, Brett. I think for about 3 laps. So he's been on 3 lap old wet tires, which are hot. Disgustingly hot in this Texas sun.
Yeah, that'd be like having soup on your tyres, I reckon.
Yeah, it's not
or
good.
Soup on your rims. Nah.
And that's going to drop him
That
a
battle
heap of
keeps on going. Tannic now. Tannic got past. Did he get up into that?
He's
Sorry,
up
we're
into
back on
P4
McKeown.
now. Yeah, so he's up into P4.
Yeah.
He's past Verben. And now he's got 5.5 seconds to chase down David Duddle. He's lost out 14.5 seconds to Kokoschki. Now, I know Tannic said to us, he's going to be on 6 lap older tyres though on this stint. Can he outlap him though? For 14.5 seconds. I mean, that's a lot of time. He has to outlap him a second per lap for 14 laps with, less than 14 to go. He ultimately has to try and outlap it. Now, he's going to gain 6 seconds in the stop. So that's 8 seconds.
Yeah.
So he's got to gain a second per lap for 8 laps over Kokoschki. The issue for Tannic is if Kokoschki... Well, the other issue is if Kokoschki pits early again, he's going to be on fresh tyres with a light car, and he's possibly going to be able to outlap Tannic again. So I think right now the strategy's actually favouring Kokoschki over Tannic right now.
Yeah.
But then the X factor in that is Ben Brook and Dave Duddle. Can these guys challenge as well? I mean, Brook's a proven race winner this season. Duddle hasn't been up here quite as much, but he seems to have the pace this evening.
What was I just looking at?
What I'm looking at is
I was looking at last time for.
Oh yes, last time.
Sorry. Yeah, last lap time for Bruce Tannic was a 140.039, and then so 5 tenths, 5-6 tenths. Kokoschki was faster on that last lap, so that's not going to work in the Tannic's favour now. Tannic's got about 6 seconds clear in front of him, so he hasn't got anything holding him up. So it'll be interesting to see what he does next time around.
It's going to be a tough ask and a tough challenge for Tannic to chase that down. Here comes Duggan. Of course,
is that a new livery on Duggan?
It is. He's run a new livery for the last few weeks, every single week. He's changed it up. Now, I'm unsure if this is still a part of the Nova Sim Sports package. I'm not sure about that, but it's a good-looking remake of the old FPR colours, so I'm not.
That was a good pass, though, Duggan.
That was a great pass. That was a great pass.
That was a really good pass. Yeah.
Doing a very, very good effort right now. It's great to have you all watching with us. Brett, we've got 42 viewers watching right now.
Whoa.
43 viewers. Great to have you all out there with us.
Keep going, boys.
Get
everyone on.
And that's just on the Vets channel. I'm unsure how many are watching over on Infinity Broadcasting, but it's great to have you all watching with us. Yep, get them all on. Get them all watching. Watch it on the TV and get them all in the chat on their phones. That'll get the views up.
Yeah, that's the go.
And any bit of chatting will help us as well. And be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe, the bell icon as well, wherever you're watching from. Help support us on both V8 Veterans and Infinity Broadcasting. Big news for Infinity Broadcasting, Brett. As of the next round of it, Premier Endurance League is now going to be on Infinity Broadcasting.
Oh, very good.
Yes, so for round 4 and round 5, for the end of the season, it'll be on Infinity Broadcasting and the Pell channel as well.
Wow. I don't know what that means, but wow. Peters and Favero battling onto Duggan. On Duggan at the moment as well. So that's another little battle going around on track. Callahan and Weston. McCune dipping in there as well, chasing down Weston. And Brett Taylor now joining that as well. So they're all under a second in that battle pack back there.
All starting to get into it. Brett, they've got Pete Baxter on the
plenty
of action
too. Plenty of action still going out on track.
Thank you all so much for watching with us. It's much appreciated. You don't want to miss next week. Next week, I am super excited, Brett. Fuji Speedway, wet race. If you've never seen wet racing at Fuji, you got to go back and watch the mid-2000s Formula 1 Grand Prix there. There's a very famous moment between David Coulthard and Michael Schumacher where Coulthard was rolling around with a broken car around the very long triple right-hander. and Schumacher could not see where the car was in the spray and drove straight in the back of him. He didn't know where he was. It's unbelievable. It is a treacherous circuit, and we're racing there next week for 300 kilometres. It's bound to be almost a 3-hour race, Brett.
Oh,
It's going to be a long one.
It's going to be huge.
It's going to be huge. You guys don't want to miss it.
Especially in the wets and all that sort of stuff.
I'm excited.
So McCune,
Andrew
Galley having a bit of a bite.
They're getting into it.
A bit of a fight. Yeah.
Oosterwald as well.
Oosterwald in there as well. Looks like Oosterwald's going to go around the outside. Tries. No. Can't get that done. Galley covers off. Comes through. There is still some really good battles coming out on track. McCune on the back of Weston also.
Everyone has started to find themselves again, Brett. They're just starting to get back in towards each other. And the next pit stops, I think, are going to keep us all nice and tight off of pit lane once more. Now, there's some interesting ones out there that we've alluded to throughout this race, obviously, where Tanek, Duddle, Brooke, Kokoschke are all going to be around each other. Where the likes of some of those other longer runners are going to be, the likes of Ron Allen, the likes of Todd Duggan as well, who's taken a 26-second stop as Oosterwald finally gets past Galley. And then where as well, those pit stop blunders are going to place drivers as well. The Boardman factor, does he take tyres or does he just take a litre of fuel? That's the way-up question for him going forward. There's a whole lot of storylines throughout this whole field of where is your strategy going to put you and what sort of position can you get. What a great run it would be tonight to see the likes of Todd Duggan or Jamie Peters, former top 10 finishers, Duggan a former champion, we could see them return to the top 10 tonight here at COTA. Unbelievable.
Yep. So Favero on Peters at the moment as well, so he's closed up that gap. Blanchard on Viger. Actually, I think I was looking at Buckland there for a short minute. He's dropped off the back of Ron Allen, or unless Ron Allen's got past Buckland, I can't remember. I was watching one of those battles there. And then we've got Brett Taylor on Monday. That's a close battle there. And further back, Oosterwald and Galley on Chapman further down the list there as well. So there's still plenty of battling going on. And we've got the second round of pit stops to be completed. So we'll see what happens at the end of the day.
We will
lap 23. We're on lap 23 of 39.
We are indeed. And as we get to this point of the race, roughly the halfway point of this one as well, we're a little bit past it now, but we're going to take this chance to give a massive thank you not only to everybody watching with us, but our series sponsors as well, namely the title sponsor, Racekraft Simulations, who made the move earlier this year to only online services in terms of selling out rigs. They no longer have a physical store in Perth. You can now order from them online. We're going to take this opportunity as Oosterwald goes to move up the inside of Chapman at turn 1 to give thanks to them by way of our very, very quick short ad break as Blanchard comes in for his second pit stop of the race. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back very, very shortly after these quick messages from Racekraft Simulations. #1 place to find yourself a lovely bit of kit, including the PT1. Second pit stop has been completed for the previous race leader, Stephen Kokoschke, as we return to Circuit of the Americas for the NASCAR West layout for round 7 of season 27 here. Hamish Munro here with you. Brett Fisher alongside if you're just joining us as we are on lap 25 of 39 here out at COTA. Big thank you once again to Racecraft Simulations, the series sponsor, as well to Logitech G, Parramatta Isuzu, Player One Sim Gear, as well to Nova Sim Sports, and including as well LGC Images and M1 Used Cars for the Driver of the Day award. We also want to give a shout out to our fellow broadcasters out there for V8 Vets, including SimSpeed TV, who bring the live Split 1 action over on their channel on Thursday nights, 8:30 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time, as well to AJR Broadcasting for bringing us the Split 3 action, 6:30 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time on Friday nights, and then 9 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time is brought to you by WKMP TV with John Van Ree at the helm for Split 4 on Friday nights as well. You can help support us here at Infinity Broadcasting by clicking the like button, the subscribe, the bell icon as well over on our YouTube channel. And help support us through our run with Split 2 of V8 Veterans, as well now to Premier Endurance League once a month with their 2-hour GT action brought to you with the GT3 Limited Series, and as well to the US-based High Side Motorsports for your Monday morning NASCAR action, 9:50 AM Australian Eastern Standard Time. We go racing once again with that series very soon as we head out towards the next round of that series shortly as well. It's been a hot start to that season, Brett. 3 different winners from the first 3 rounds of that season. It's been hot to call. It's been very, very fun.
Wow.
Yep. At this stage, Kokoschke has come out now in behind Bretton O'Brien, who's yet to do his second stops. There's a little bit of traffic to be dealt here for Kokoschke. But Bruce Tannock, can he gain some time further up the order over Stephen? His last lap for Tannock was a 1:39.48. He wasn't actually quite as fast as Duddle. He did a 39.31. We'll see what Kokoschke does on his next flying lap over the line as he gets past O'Brien down at the back end of the circuit.
It's all started. Pardon me, sorry. I don't know whether you noticed, I'm just a bit under the weather tonight, but we're getting through. We're going all right. Interesting to see this start to close out. Here we see Vaban and Allen in pit lane at the moment. So things are starting to sort of get themselves sorted out. Lap 27 of 39. And we're going to see where all this lies very, very shortly.
Well, the difficulty now, and we mentioned it earlier, Brett, the difficulty of James Boardman. He is on 25 lap-old tyres, and he is struggling for grip out there with Rick Viger attacking him in behind on a fresh set.
Yeah.
He's got to make a decision soon. Does he come in for a litre of fuel, or does he come in for tyres with nearly 10 laps to go? I think right now tyres may be the only choice he has to make the end of this race.
Yeah.
The band will exit pit lane, and he exits just ahead of Boardman, so he manages to hold position now over Rick Viger. Listener and Horsell battle up the road. Drag race 2, turn 1. This battle looks to heat up. They've got Brett Fisher in behind them, who's got a front seat to this. Brett, you've had a great game tonight, up 14, but those tyres, they'll be hurting right now, being that they are now 11 laps old.
They actually, they weren't too bad. They didn't feel too bad. I mean, I don't know what it is, but I think I tend to, during a race, I don't hammer the car as, go for fastest lap all the time and things like that. And I think it lends itself to just as we see Duddle coming in. The
Bruce Tannock!
Okay.
Bruce Tannock made a mistake in the pit lane.
What have you done, Tannock?
He's overshot it into the wall.
Oh,
and we saw earlier he sent it in there to try and gain some time. He risked a stop hold. Now he's made a mistake and he's actually caused damage.
Badly damaged.
That's going to be the fast repair gone.
Yeah.
And hope of the race lead gone as well.
Oh, he'd be kicking himself.
There's Kokoschke.
And here comes Kokoschke, yeah.
And watch for Ben Brook as well. He'll look to jump him too. Oh, man. Heartbreak for Bruce Tannock here at COTA. Duddle comes out. There's Brook, who's actually been jumped by Ron Allen in that stop, by the way. Allen was held up slightly by Verben. And they've come out behind Duddle.
And that's always a hard thing when you go into pits with another driver. You don't know how they're going to enter pits. Have they practiced their pit entries? Have they practiced their pit exits? And are you going to get held up? Here comes
the struggle now for Tannock. He's trapped behind this line of cars that are struggling to get past the old tyres of James Boardman. So this might cost him some time. It also might give him an opportunity, though, to actually get a passing move made a lot easier because they're all being balked up behind that old tyre runner of the 7 Camaro up ahead of them.
If we know anything about Tanik, he's not afraid to send it.
I'm sure he will. I'm sure he'll have a go. He had a go last week at Long Beach, and it was a very impressive drive to get himself back up to P3.
Oh, Todd Duggan having a look at the inside of Viger.
And that's it there. I mean, you see them getting balked up a little bit. That's allowing the drivers behind Viger to have an assault at him right now. And the one thing that Viger's praying for is that Boardman comes into pit lane just to open up the road a little bit ahead of him.
Yeah. What I was saying, nice to see that tree start to sort of close up a bit too with some battles. What I was saying before about like my race percentage of commitment, a lot of this Brenton O'Brien coming in now. A lot of these drivers out, you see probably Buck on Kokoschki, Tanik, and there's Ron Allen, and there's a few others. You know, they seem to drive a lot harder with a little bit more confidence. Here comes Boardman.
Right, so let's see what the decision has been made for Boardman. Although, looking at how wild that car is on throttle, you would assume he's taking some tyres here and not fuel. I mean, he's obviously losing 10 seconds, but you know, you could easily make that up with a fresh set on the last 10 laps.
Well, you got to finish the race, don't you?
Yeah,
as they
he's
say,
gone up on the
first
jacks.
to finish is,
he's up on the jacks longer than a second, so this is tyres for Boardman. So fresh set of tyres, no fuel needed to be added, and now he gets to push on. So we'll see where he ends up. I mean, he's got a tight battle pack that are coming up just past him here.
Definitely, yeah.
So he actually has some drivers to chase down, especially in Brett Taylor and Matt Monday. So top 20 could still be on the cards for him, arguably. I mean, P20 in Scott McCune is only just up the road from him. So doing very, very well as Blanchard looks to get past Verben here up the order. Tight battle between them.
And he's got it done.
Oh, it is.
Although, no, you can't defend it.
Blanchard,
with that double right-hander.
Blanchard being the passing car, he hasn't been able to make that move stick. As Gary Buckland will now give up the race lead back to Kokoschki.
Yeah, back to Kokoschki.
And now, depending where Buckland will come out, will it give up the championship lead as well? Because if Kokoschki wins this race, he could go on to lead the championship into Fuji next week with those 2 drop rounds included. There is Buckland. Duddle will come past. Ron Allen will come past to put his car on the podium as well. It's an all Mustang.
Brooke.
1, 2, 3. Brooke past. Does Verben come past? He's not even dropped yet here, Brett. So we'll see where he exits.
Just dropped now.
There's Rick Viger. Was he held up enough to not allow Buckland past him? No. Buckland will actually exit back where he started the race in P11.
Wow.
And with Mick Clifton chasing up on him now on warm tyres.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of pressure.
The best news, though, for Buckland is he is on the freshest tyres on the whole circuit.
Yeah. So he's going to want to try and obviously move forward. Tanik Duggan and Viger. Blanchard closed up on Verben.
There's that other pack.
Pronounce that.
There's that other pack in behind as well.
If you have a look up and down that tree, there's still, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 good little battles going on. So there's battles all over the place at the moment. This was a great little battle pack too, yeah.
Yep, yourself, Listener, and Horsell. Brett O'Brien on his
Have a
lonesome.
look at that little angry pack.
Yep, little angry train further down the order. Oh, look at the gain as well, Brett. I don't know if you're actually watching the time. There's Boardman on those fresh tyres. He's begun to chase them down. He's down to 2 seconds.
Yep. Under 2 seconds now.
This might be a pack to watch in the dying laps of this race, Brett. It may be one to watch because this could be a hot battle. It's all for a top 20.
On Duggan at the moment. He's closed up within 0.1, 0.2 of a second there.
He has indeed.
He's just dropped it back a bit there, but he did close up in that couple last sectors, and you can see the exit. Oh, just gets the car a little bit slidey. He's got a little bit of gain out of there. Duggan covers off on him. What does he do under brakes? He's gonna put it right up there.
That's a massive send from Tanik.
Can he pull it up though?
He pulled it up. He gets it off the corner.
And he pushes
on.
Great move.
It was 1.5 seconds. now to gain up to Rick Viger in this battle. And look at who's joined the back of that train we were watching. Boardman has caught them at a rate of knots.
Yeah, he's on a mission now. Boardman's on a mission.
This train has grown exponentially back here, and it's all for P18. Unbelievable racing for these guys to be having such a tight battle so late in this race.
Just going to keep my eyes on a few cars out there at the moment.
You see Matt Monday, he's up 2 tonight. Baxter up 5 in a great gain for the CX2 driver. He's in behind Daryl Callahan. Yusuf Corfidis, we saw him on those wet tyres earlier. This is where it's put him back to. This hot, tight battle. All for a top 20 position in this race.
He's managed to, I mean, I know it's obviously hurting, but he's actually... Oh.
Brett Taylor runs wide. He tried to go for it up the inside there of Monday. Couldn't quite get there. And now he's being put under pressure here. This pack of cars is really heating up.
It definitely is. And it's sort of a train that, you know, like you sort of want to push, but you don't want to sort of get involved in other, you know, especially further down the train. If something happens in front of you, you want to be able to sort of just get yourself around it as well. But you want to put yourself in a position where you can do something. Fastest lap of the race for not fastest lap of the, or fastest lap of his race, Gary Buckland with 39.143.
Well, look at Bourman. Bourman with a massive dive on the inside of Taylor down at the final quarter, and he's got the run here up towards turn 1. Mentioning fastest laps, Bourman did a 1:38.39 on the last lap time prior to this one, Brett. Quick. So he is a man on a mission right now.
Just being held up in that, as you see, crossing that start-finishing line that time, though, pretty much level par with everybody else. Obviously, that pack now that he's caught, he's got to get through and past. So he's got the time to burn on his tyres, but can he make use of it? Tanek now closed up to a second behind Viger. But Duggan and Favero still going with him too. So that's they've done well to sort of stick with Tanek. Tanek has definitely been pushing forward. And just having a look at Bruce Tanek's last lap around was a 1:39.462. Ben Brooks' last lap around was a 1:38.9. Ron Allen 1:38.7. So those two guys have still got plenty of life left in their cars.
See here as well. Bowman's just made another move, by the way. Oh, Matt Monday! Matt Monday with a massive slide.
Oh, does he manage? Oh, geez, that was close.
That was close.
Close across the nose.
This pack is really heating up.
Get that done.
We'll check back in with it in a few moments, I'm sure. But Rick Viger has now got Bruce Tanek on his heels up towards turn 1. Viger up 7.
Tanek did 1:38.9.
Yeah,
that last lap around.
Although Viger last lap 1:39.69, so 7/10 was the differential on the last lap.
Gary Buckland doing another fastest lap of his race, 1:38.6. So he's just going faster and faster every lap.
Those fresh tyres are really starting to push him now as O'Brien gets past. Yep, Mr. Fisher.
Yeah, well, I got a big wheel spin coming onto the front straight, unfortunately. And that allowed O'Brien to get past. I was right up on the tail of Listener, and I was a bit quicker in a couple of sections through there at the track, just couldn't get a move done. But O'Brien took advantage on that front straight, did well to get past.
Scott McCune putting some pressure now on Scott Weston as well, so this battle continues to heat up. Callahan feeling the pressure here from Pete Baxter. Favero now has Buckland on him. We're getting into the nitty and gritty here. Ben Brook could still challenge for this podium. 0.3 of a second is the gap with 6 laps to go when we cross the strike for Stephen Kokoschki. That
gap. Look, Kokoschki, it's his to lose at the moment. He's well out and cleared of Duddle. Duddle's had a fantastic run, although he's qualified well, down one spot. Nothing to be sneezed at, done well there so far. So those two guys, unless they have a monumental, they're in a bit of strife. They're pretty safe, sorry. But Bren Book on Allen, this is one to watch here, and there's a number of them still throughout that tree on the left-hand side of because there's still stuff going on left, right, and centre there.
There is indeed.
Tanek 0.3, 0.4.
And they've gained now over Duggan, which is out to 1.4 seconds with Favero making up our top 10, but Gary Buckland will look to challenge it towards the end of this race with now 6 laps to go. And he's on 5-lap fresher tyres than Favero is. Peters under pressure here from Mick Clifton. We look further back. O'Brien just starting to gap out to Brett Fisher. Scott Weston is still feeling it from McCune, and now Corfiadis in behind him. And the continued run up the order for the likes of Boardman and Baxter, both on opposite playing fields. Baxter looking for gains, Boardman looking to recover. The lost time in pit lane as Matt Monday's just got off the road at turn 1. So pressure's starting to build here amongst this battle pack. Taylor comes past. That's going to drop him a heap of time.
Stages.
Yeah.
Coming down the dying stages, everyone starts to get a bit desperate. Can I make a move? Have I still got enough in the car to make a bit of a lunge here and there? And you're going to see little errors here and there because the cars are getting a little bit tired. The drivers are getting definitely a little bit tired because we're all old buggers. But that's the one that happens. Blanchard's still on the back of Brooke.
Drive for Verban. Up 2 into the top 5. What a drive for Abel. What a drive for Abel Verban. I mean, unbelievable. This has been the breakout performance the last few weeks for Abel Verban.
Yeah.
And if he can maintain this position, this is a phenomenal drive from him. As McCune is now right on his fellow Scott in Scott Weston. As they continue to battle away here further down the order. Ron Allen, Ben Brooker closely together as well by 0.3 of a second.
Yeah,
he's not quite close enough for a move, but he's right on him applying that pressure. Same scenario for Todd Duggan and Bruce Tannock as well. Both of those guys fighting tooth and nail. All the hot action
doing
towards
the fastest
the end
lap
here.
of his race.
It's a great run. Great run from Brenton O'Brien. He's
McCune
up
on
12.
Weston.
He's up 12 at this point, doing such a great job. There is McCune trying to get this through. Can't quite fight for it.
There's a lot of these battles that they're not over yet. You know, there's still a lot of racing to happen in these last dying laps. And if you look at see McCune right up underneath the wing of Weston there.
I mean, these guys are not fighting for a race win. They're not fighting for a podium. They're not even fighting for a top 10. But they're fighting for that extra position, those extra 2 points.
Yep.
And the feeling of I've achieved something tonight. For Weston, he remains where he started. For McCune, he's up 2. I mean, this is a good finish for either of them, both inside of the top 20. And they want to try and make sure that they can maintain that position. We mentioned the comeback story tonight for Corfiadis, who was on those wet tyres. The blunder that he made in pit lane.
Well done,
He wants to keep this thing inside of the top 20. Callahan wants to gain his way up there, join his teammate inside of the top 20. Baxter on a great run up 5. And then Boardman on the comeback train as well after the blunder with the fuel in pit lane too. So there's a lot of narratives, a lot of storylines amongst this battle pack. And it's all coming to a head with 5 laps to go here at Circuit of the Americas.
Even the plight of Tannock, you know, like coming unstuck in that pit lane, copping massive damage, losing those precious bit of time. He's still in the top 10. He's still
Boardman, massive dive at the final corner again here, Brett. Drag race up towards turn 1.
Is he going to send it on the inside? We've seen him before. He's probably going to do it again. Baxter's just giving him a bit of space there.
A lot of room given from Pete Baxter. Fair play, they push on. Andrew Listener as well. I mean, what a drive for him too. Up 11 tonight. O'Brien up 12. Yourself, Brett, up 15 after starting from pit lane. That's a great drive. Rick Weiger's up 7 into the top 10. You mentioned Bruce Tannock, who had that mistake in pit lane, put himself in the wall. He's having to come back now from his start position at P8. And Todd
Duggan's come back at him.
Up 3.
Yeah, Todd Duggan's coming back at him because there was a bit of a gap there. I wonder whether Bruce has just sort of, exhausted the tyre life out of that car. And Duggan's now coming back at Bruce, so that'll be an interesting one to watch as the next few laps sort of close down.
I'll tell you what, Abel Verban's doing a great job here to defend against Chris Blanchard, and Todd Duggan's doing a great effort to chase down Bruce Tannock. What an exit for Verban, though.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. That is a great exit from him. Favero's done well, too, to hold off Gary Buckland to this point, the championship leader, who will maintain the championship lead if he finishes where he is on the road, as Callahan now gets past Corfiadis back in this tightening battle pack here for a top 20 finish. So Corfiadis caught out here by Callahan. Watch for Boardman. Tries to
Okay.
dive up the inside at 20 again. Big move up into P21. What a drive between them as Tannick is
Tannick on
under
Duggan.
pressure from
Yeah.
Duggan.
Duggan had him for a second there, and his Tannick's come back at him.
It is.
So they must have been
it
side by
is-
side for a second.
It is heating up. Oh, Duggan runs wide. Favero gets through.
Oh.
It is heating up left, right, and centre all over the circuit right
Listen,
now.
Listener O'Brien, myself have closed back up again. Buckland on the back of Duggan, obviously.
This is
So this
heating
little
up.
battle's not overdone.
It's not.
Overdone yet.
I mean,
The front end of town has settled down.
They have. Weston and McCune continue this battle. Corfiadis trying to pick up the pieces, but Baxter's trying to sneak by him as well. There's action aplenty everywhere, Brett. Where do you look?
Yeah, everywhere.
Like, seriously, where do you look tonight? Unbelievable.
Same again. I was just closing up on O'Brien there again, but that's just stretched out again. So there was some opportunity. McCune onto Weston as well. Like, he's 0.2 of a second behind. As you say, like, where do you look? The front end of town up to, Tannick and further abroad, they've all sort of started to settle down now. These battles all over the place. 38 to 39 coming down to the white flag. Or is that this time? Yes. No.
We are now on 38 of 39 as the race leader has begun lap 38.
38. Yep. One to go.
And is driving spectacularly here this evening. I'm missing a fourth name right now for Driver of the Day nominations possibly tonight, Brett. And I don't quite know where to look for it. I've got three.
Yeah.
If
if you've only got three.
Well, it's I wanted to know if you may have had a name that you wanted to throw out there possibly without telling you my three that I've got.
Ooh. Oh, look, there's been some good drives out there tonight. No, I'll go with you. You've got it covered.
Okay. As Dave Duddle has all of a sudden dropped some time here to Ron Allen.
Yeah, Ron Allen.
Something has happened, and I'm hearing word his wheel disconnected from the PC and he was stuck in second gear for 5 or 6 seconds coming out of the last turn. Giving up a heap of time to Ron Allen. That is so unfortunate, but it's white flag, final lap, 1 to go. Kokoschki has got 1 lap with a 5-second differential nearly over Dave Duddle to get home to a third race win this season, but can Duddle hold off Ron Allen for the final run to the line?
And I tell you what, can Favero hold off? Can Tannick hold off Favero too? He's closed up as well. We've still got the battle with listener O'Brien and myself, and then back further, we've got a few more battles out there as well. So there's still in this closing lap. Let's see if Duddle can get this home. Hopefully, he can sort of manage to get that car around.
He's continuing to push. Is David Duddle to hold on to this P2? He started on the front row tonight on pole position. He wants to finish it inside of the top 2 as well. As there we can see Kokoschki, the race leader, only a couple of corners away from a fantastic race win for himself here at Circuit of the Americas. 3rd win of the season if he can pull this off with 3 rounds to go. The opportunity at 6 is there for Kokoschki. He won't match the record, but he'll match the previous best as he comes through the final 2 corners for Synergy Sim Racing and Sud Speed Gloves. What a drive after last week's horror show at Long Beach. A comeback for the ages as he rides up towards the line. Stephen Kokoschki, the race winner in the Circuit of the Americas. Dave Duddle will come home P2 ahead of Ron Allen on the podium. Ben Brook home inside of the top 5 ahead of Abel Verben, and a great breakout performance for him. Chris Blanchard home inside of the top 10. Weiger ahead of Bruce Tannick, Nathan Favero, and Todd Duggan inside of the top 10, as well as O'Brien and Listener are battling for position back here. Top 15 on the line for them. Who can hold on? It's O'Brien who's got the job done, but can Listener hold off Fisher for the final run through the corner? Fisher spins it round! Fisher spins it round and drops it off. McCune and Western battle for their position as well. Bournemouth with a massive dive up the inside on the final corner on Callahan. Can he get the job done to get it back in the top 20? Slide job though. Contact made. Drag race the line. Callahan will get there at the line.
Wow.
But race control may have something to say about that one after the race. What a drive though. And what a win for Stephen Kokoschke. 3 wins this season. Driver of the Day nominations going into the chat. Get your votes in. Abel Verbin, David Duddle, and Todd Duggan out there. Get your votes in for who you think was our Driver of the Day in round 7. We want to hear from you. And as we wait for you to get
That was
out
actually
there,
pretty... That was actually awesome. That race, like, I mean, as I say, like, I don't know what happens in the rest of the field during a race, but that was pretty wild. The closing stages of that race was wild. There was action going all over the track, and there was a lot of action happening. So yeah, that was great to see that. Some great results there too.
well, our provisional race results are as follows. Stephen Kokoschke, the race winner, led the most laps tonight as well with 20. Brett Fisher was the hard charger, up 15 after starting from pit lane. Dave Duddle held the fastest lap though, 1:38 dead. Also had the pole position in the end as well. As I'll just get some very, very quick highlights happening for us whilst I...
Oh, the highlights.
Yeah, we'll get our post-race highlights happening proper in a second. This is just for the B-roll in the background. It was also Dave Duddle on the podium ahead of Ron Allen for M1 Racing. Ben Brook, Abel Verb in the top 5 ahead of Chris Blanchard, Rick Feiger, Bruce Tannick, Nathan Favero, Todd Duggan the top 10, Buckland Peters, Clifton Horsell, O'Brien the top 15 ahead of Andrew Listener, Brett Fisher as well, with the likes of Scott Weston, Scott McCune. Darryl Callahan will finish inside the top 20 on the road, but he's been given a post-race redress, so that position will actually go to James Boardman ahead of Callahan in P21 with Corfiadis in behind him as well. The rest of the top 30 will go to Baxter, Taylor, Monday, Galley, Oostervall, Chapman, Quain and Clark will not end up finishing this one in the end, unfortunately for him. To the post-race highlights we go, and we prepare ourselves for the end of tonight's broadcast as well. It all started, of course, on the first lap. Green flag running off the start line got us underway for the beginning of this race. And it was a hot start, a horrid race start for Chris Blanchard, who absolutely bogged it up off the line. Tannick, though, with a great run up towards turn 1. You watch him on the outside, just drives around everybody. Gets a good gain early and sneaks his way forward inside of the top 5 very early on in this race. Later on in the lap, we saw an issue for Joel Oostervall down at turn 12. This is what happened to him as he battled with the likes of Andrew Listener and co. down here. So he's onto the inside. Listener on the outside. There's Quain in behind him. Quain just smacks the rear of that car, puts him round, and that gave Quainey a drive-through penalty. Then there was Tony Chapman's moment only a few corners later on the same lap as he came through what is turn 15. He tries to sneak up the inside of Verben, loses the rear, round she goes, and off the road she goes as well. And then as that was happening, Scott Weston comes round after contact with Andrew Galley, and that's what gave Andrew Galley a drive through as well. So this is what occurred between the two of them.
Okay. Oh, just that inside, outside. Bugger. Yeah.
And
Damn good. It's a shame that because he had that position, done. It's just unfortunately probably going to be on the car in front of him there.
Well, and then aside from that, Brett, it was a pretty reasonably clean race. We did have some issues throughout pit lane, as we mentioned previously, but really the biggest one out of all that, as I try to find it, was Bruce Tannick's moment into pit lane on his second stop as he came in. He hit the wall, so let me try and find this for us here. Here we go. So this was Bruce entering pit lane for the second time.
That's a late dive. He made that decision late.
Oh, yeah. And then just ran it wide. And
That's
then
an okay sign, getting right near right.
And then aside from that, it was actually a very, very clean race. So we don't really have any others to show off in terms of incidents this evening. We obviously had some tight battles throughout the race as well. And just looking at the chat to see the votes for driver of the day. Let me have a quick count.
All in all, a good race, boys. It was great.
Well, it seems to be fairly unanimous thanks to the votes of 266. Our driver of the day will go this evening to our pole sitter and P2 finisher on the road. And I've actually just written out his name instead of driver of the day. So that won't help in any case. But our driver of the day winner here this evening, our pole sitter as well, in Mr. David Duddle for 266 Sim Racing. Congratulations to David, who takes out the Driver of the Day award for round 7 of the Racecraft Simulations V8 Veterans action for season 27. Knowing that next week as well, Brett, we get a free wildcard, being that it is a wet race. Could be an interesting one, going racing for 300 kilometres out at Fuji Speedway next week. It's going to be exciting stuff to come. You don't want to miss any of it. We haven't got any drivers to coming to have a chat to us here tonight post race, so that's a little bit of a shame. But nonetheless, we push on.
Is what it is. They're obviously busy doing something on their Saturday night.
Oh, they obviously are. But one thing we're excited for, as I said, next week, Fuji Speedway. Rain comes our way for next week's race, and it is going to be a ballistic time for you. 300 kilometers with Fuji beckoning in the background as the monsoon makes its return here in the V8 Veterans. You guys don't want to miss it, so be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe, the bell icon, as well as on both the V8 Veterans and Infinity Broadcasting channels, so you're notified whenever we go racing here with the Racecraft Simulations V8 Veterans actions. Subscribe and support the V8 Vets channel to be notified of the Split 2, Split 3 and Split 4 action, and help support us over at Infinity Broadcasting to get notified whenever we go racing with the Split 2 action, 8:30pm Australian Eastern Standard Time every Saturday evening, as well as Highside Motorsports on Monday mornings at 9:50am Australian Eastern Standard Time, and once a month on Sunday evenings at 7:50pm Australian Eastern Standard Time, Premier Endurance League as well. With 2 rounds to go in that series, they move over here to Infinity Broadcasting for the rest of their season. I've been Hamish Munro Brett Fisher alongside. Appreciate your time. Appreciate it for being here with us once again. A big thank you to the series sponsors, of course, Racecraft Simulations, Logitech G, Parramatta Isuzu, Play One Sim Gear, Nova Sim Sports, Project Fade Streetwear as well, to LGC Images, and M1 Used Cars with the Driver of the Day Award. This week it went the way of David Duddle. Next week it could go to you. But until next time, stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.
Hey, Hamish. Yeah, right. Come on, boys, get your headphones pumped up and get into this one. Should be a bit of fun. Right, catch us all next week.
This is not the greatest race in the world. No. But it is a tribute to the mighty V8 veterans. And destiny whispered 2 names. Rick Vigor, Tony Chapman. Wow! Turn one open like a demon's jaw. O'Brien and Monday butted heads, Badoom. Car scatter, car park forms at the fountain. The chaos gods scream, let it begin. Turn 1 keeps claiming souls all night. Clifton slams turn 9. Gary Buckland double shifts into oblivion. Locks up, tags Blanchard. Screech! Joe Loosterwall locks up. Kisses the tire bundle. Launches from pit lane straight into the wall. No! Turn 1 becomes his nemesis. Escape route sideways, tires, bam! Boardman arrives like a missile, kaboom! Todd Duggan joins the carnage. Mario Real gets turn 1 into another dimension. Blanchard locks up at turn 9, again limps home. Galley locks the rears, engine blows. Safety car summoned by the gods! Tannock leads Jones, sends him Ram clips the fountain walls. Ben Blanchard exits pits. Jones forgets the brake. Wham! Turn 8 claims Hoffman. Turn 8 steals Caesar's podium with a tank slapper. Cannot pitch for tires. Drops to 15. Begins the climb of legends. Boardman and Fisher trade. Blows at turn 7. No room, no mercy. Only pain. Final corner. Jones, wounded, desperate, clips the wall, loses the rear, takes out Scotty Western as the flag waves. But from the ashes, from the fire, from the chaos of Long Beach, a hero rose. He tamed the beast, he set his sights on COTA. But another warrior earned the gods' respect. Tony Chapman! He fought through madness, rose above the wreckage. The gods declared, Tony Chapman, drive all today! And then, the gates of destiny opened. A temple of speed. A cathedral of courage, a track forged by the gods of rock. COTA. COTA, 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 COTA. Turn 1 rises like a mountain of fate. 40 warriors charging the celestial gate. The S's twist like a dragon spine, and the V8 vets dance upon the razor's line. Sector 2 burns hotter than the sun. Turn 12 becomes the battlefield where legends are won. The stadium roars like a beast in the night, and the V8 veterans stand ready to fight. Rick Vega charges with the fury of 10,000 revs, engine roaring like a thunder god's gift. He slices through the pack, he bends destiny's will. Every corner he conquers, every moment he kills. He rises, he climbs, he takes the crown. The champion of COTA, the king of the showdown. Behind him, Chapman fights like a warrior reborn. Car dancing on the edge of dawn. He coughs through the field, he answers the call. Drive of the day, the bravest of them all. Yeah! Long Beach forced the fire, COTA let it burn. Rick Vega rose in glory, Chapman took his turn. Thunder Riders, kings of the track, the legends of the day. The mighty, the fearless, the V8 veterans lead the way. And that, my friends, is not the greatest race in the world, but it is a tribute to the greatest racers ever told.
With lines screaming, tires bleeding, virtual cubes, the motor's breathing, engine thunder from down under, piston fire, turn asunder, put your name in the lights. Oh, with the
The racing series is a new milestone in Logitech G.
All the great old wheels, the G29, the G920, the G923, they all have their own unique way of connecting to each other, but there's no room for expansion with those products.
So the question arose was, what if we were to give the opportunity for the racer to switch out from a drifting wheel to a GT rim?
With the wheel hubs that we've created, that's got a very specific button set, but you can replace any of the steering wheels.
And the real lovely aspect to this was we could give the user, driver and the racer the opportunity to experience different genres of race.
That allows drivers to craft high quality, customized setups that resonate with your individual racing style.
When we start with the design, we always start sketching. Very often, once we've got sketches, we start discussing with engineering.
We had 3 rounds of engineering testing or user testing where we invited in users from sim racing, and every single round of feedback we refine, the product based on what they tell us.
In the sim racing lab, again, we're going to use data to really analyze what a driver needs. We've used everything from eye tracking to the inputs from the pedals, the inputs from the, let's just say, input devices, the wheel and the pedals, the shifter. We're taking that and we're compiling it so that we can build different products based on those individuals' needs for all consumers and all drivers.
I don't know of anyone else in the industry that's actually doing this kind of research into their products to see how their products are affecting performance of their users.
We've built the product to make sure that it's as reliable as possible.
So the innovations in engineering that I'd say we're most proud of is the sequential handbrake and shifter toolless changeover. This is now a patented system, so it's really easy for the user to just switch between modes.
If you give people the tools to do what they want, they will.
They will just go off and have fun.
Introducing the Rackraft PT1, custom-built full chassis racing simulator. The design project, codenamed The Cage, an 80/40 extrusion chassis sitting on top of a Sigma Integrale DK2 Plus 4-point full motion actuator system. No compromises in the cockpit of the PT1 simulator. To maximize the experience, we start with the 49-inch ultra-wide monitor for the greatest field of view in a small footprint of the simulator, down to the SimuCube wheelbase that's tucked up and behind the monitors with SimCore extensions to get things out of the driving area. Everything is connected to a Cube Controls GTX steering wheel with the built-in dash and all the extra button functions available at your fingertips. Driving through the Raceworks S1 pedals, the potentiometer throttle and the 2 hydraulic pedals for brake and clutch ensures you maximize the feel underfoot, and seating yourself into an OMP HTER bucket racing seat with OMP belts connected to a G-belt tensioner to provide that extra feeling and the heightened experience while you're driving. Additional interfaces and accessories in the PT1, we have twin butt kickers, one on either side of the OMP seat, as well as a Jinx sequential shifter, the SimPush Race Logic timer to the left-hand side, a Racecraft built-in WinSim kit with Philips Hue lighting and a built-in soundbar, plus the OMP side net to finish off the experience in the PT1. The Racecraft PT1, build number 1, the ultimate in sim racing experience, combining the best products in the market with the passionate, no-compromise approach that goes beyond racing simulation.